I love algebraic fractions, and for 6 marks, by the end of this question, you're going to love them too. In order to add or subtract fractions, you must have a common denominator. Looking at denominators here I've got a, and here I've got 4a. Well, I can write both fractions to be out of 4a. Looking at the first fraction, what have I times a on the bottom to get to 4a? Well, I've multiplied it by 4. Hence, I must do the same to the top to give it equivalent fraction. So 6 times 4 gives us 24. Looking at my second fraction, it's already in the bottom out of 4a, so I leave the top exactly as it is. Now I've got a common denominator of 4a. I just write that once on the bottom and just do exactly what's on the top. In this case, I've got 24 subtract 11, which simplifies to give us 13. Simplify fully for 4 marks. We're multiplying fractions, we just times the tops and times the bottom separately. If it's not already a fraction, we can always put it over 1. But before we do that, we're going to factorise the top and the bottom of each fraction where possible. Looking at the top, if you see 2 terms, we always try single brackets. The highest common factor in y squared and negative 3y, in this case is single y. I now open my single bracket. What do I times y to get back to y squared? Well, I'm missing y. What do I times y to get back to negative 3y? I'm missing negative 3. And the bottom, I still have it over 1. I'm now multiplying by, if you've got 3 terms are quadratic in terms of y, we know it's going to factorise into what we call double brackets. As the quadratic starts y squared, I know each bracket will start with a single y. My rule is I need to find 2 numbers that multiply to give us the number term, in this case positive 21, and still add to give us the number in front of the single letter, which in this case is positive 10. Here the only pair that works is going to be plus 7 and plus 3, as 7 times 3 is 21, and 7 add 3 gives us 10. And on the bottom of the fraction, we have what we call difference of 2 squares. As I've got a squared term, must be subtract another squared term. So opening my double brackets, what do I times by itself to give us y squared? Well, I'm going to have y in each bracket. One will have a plus and one will have a minus. Well, 9 is a square number, which is 3 squared. So it's going to be plus 3 and minus 3. As I'm simplifying, I'm going to check the top and bottom of each fraction for any common factors. Look at my first fraction. There's nothing common on the top and the bottom. Look at my second fraction. I can see in brackets, I've got y plus 3 common. So I'm going to cancel y plus 3 on the top and the bottom. As we're multiplying fractions, we just times the tops and times the bottom separately. Hence, on the top, I'm going to have y multiplied by in single brackets y minus 3, multiplied by in single brackets y plus 7. And on the bottom of my fraction, here I've got 1 multiplied by in single brackets y minus 3. As we're asked to simplify fully, always check at the end whether your answer can be simplified. Well, here on the top and bottom, I've got in single brackets y minus 3 common. So I'm going to cancel y minus 3 in brackets on the top and bottom. Hence, my final answer is going to be single y multiplied by, in single brackets, y plus 7.